Hey, Josh here from Heroic Hindrance, and today I'm walking you through this drawing of RWMC 1 Shade. To start off, I think the pose and point of view and start playing with those pose ideas. These guys are not big enough, are not big, though they can be, and I'll get into that later. These guys are typically human sized and are known to be wearing clothes like humans do, but they're a bit more picky for it. They're more I don't know what the word is, realistic. They're you can think of them as soldiers. Anyway. Now, I guess I should go over what a shade is cuz you technically aren't supposed to know. If you do, good for you. The shade are slivers of a higher being imprisoned in another realm. You don't get to know the name because I don't remember the name. And I'm sure the creator of the shade scowls at my memory, typical artist. But I don't get paid to remember things. I get paid to draw. And a matter of fact, I didn't get paid to draw this. So, unless you count the memes I got in return. Oh, those glorious memes. Anyway, the shade, think of them as a mass of spectral black smoke with a pure white outline with another black outline. They're almost like dark, shadowy wisps, and most importantly, they are not necessarily evil. Their goal is to smother the light in the realm as much as they can and then plunge the realm into pure darkness. Now, they're made up of darkness, so they want the world to be darkness. Um, that's just how it is. You can't have darkness without light, and that is profound in the white outline that you see in them. Now, so they try to smother the light as much as they can anyway. Um, they take more damage in the light, they're weak in the light, they can't see, they're blinded in the light, the list goes on. They're just intended for the darkness. Um, the Shade all share an iconic metallic mask. It resembles a stretched dinner plate, almost with blades adorning the nose guard and cheek area. And in this drawing, I decided to draw them more like a rogue rather than the knight's armor I typically do. And I feel like the rogue idea just makes more sense because they're more. I guess they're not necessarily agile. There are other species in Aria and RWMC, the the universe, that are way more agile, like the aliens, which you'll see in another video. Those aliens are a whole different story. But the Shade, they are their abilities. They don't have to work in groups, but they work. They are almost impossible to deal with when they are in groups. They are very tanky. They can apply stacks um, onto enemies. It's hard to describe. And another thing to mention is that these characters are not just drawing ideas. They are playable. They were playable characters in a project I was working on with the creators of these characters. And they were playable at one point. They aren't anymore, unless more people want to see it or if they want to play as these characters. And I mean a lot. It costs money to host the Minecraft server. Yes, Minecraft server uh, takes a lot of effort and work that is put into these characters to make them playable onto the server. And I don't mean just, oh, look at me, I hurt in the light. No, there is a lot more to it, to these characters, than just how they look, how they act, They're very environmental based, such as the shade. Now, as you can see, I struggle a lot as I draw this guy's mask. His mask is very weird to draw, to say the least. It is not a helmet. It just drapes over his face that doesn't really exist. Um, the but the most important thing is that it's just a giant sharp nose guard. Anyway, I get the gist of this drawing down and I start going through and doing my inking process. And as you can see, I lose it and say that's it. And I just skip a few processes and start doing the inking right away. I want this guy to not have very much armor. I want to emphasize his his look. You know, he's a wisp, or he's made of smoke. That is very important with how he looks. And anywhere where you would see a humanoid's skin or body part, it's replaced by smoke. So it's weird, but I go through and I draw, or I ink the armor as if it's see-through, and that helps me a lot. He's mostly wispy, but anyway, you get the gist of it. I go through and I do the mask last because, again, I'm struggling with it pretty hard. And even the angle's really difficult because, again, it's like a frickin' dinner plate. Going back and rewatching this recording is a little fun because it is a sped up video after all, and I just spent so much time. It's funny because I went through and did a here's a better reference I use, and that helps me finally get the guy's design down. Good enough. Let's sharpen those edges, bring in some eye looking thingies, make them look all wispy and black on fiery like stuff. And then I go through and do a thicker outline for that white to emphasize that pure darkness. Oh boy, look at him. And it's important that I make him look like he doesn't have legs, by the way. He doesn't get leggings or anything like that. It's because he doesn't he's a wisp. Why would or he's a smoky dude. Why would he need legs? He skipped leg day, or his big boss in the other dimensions like, no legs for you, boy. So he doesn't get legs. But it works better. He looks better. He looks more like I guess you could say, one of those elementals. Though, is he an elemental? I don't know what dignifies an elemental. You can't control these dudes. So anyway, I go ahead and start drawing this pure light that cuts through the darkness to emphasize even more of what this guy is, the sliver of pure darkness. I decided to go with blue. It's a cold-ish color, and if I added more black to that piece, it would have been really hard to look at. So the blue really helps. Add a bit of shading, kind of play around with the ideas, and that is pretty much the gist of the drawing. That is The Shade, an original from RWMC 1, Wars on Aria. So thanks for watching and listening, and if you're into watching the process vaguely as best as I could, as you saw, please make sure to like and subscribe, and definitely stick around for some more. Thank you, stay heroic, and keep sketching, and have a nice day.